All right, Jim Larrañaga is on the Toyota of Hollywood hotline. Shop hundreds of Toyotas indoors in one of America's largest showrooms at Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan. Jim Larrañaga, head coach of the Final Four Crowder University of Miami men's basketball team.
Yes, sir.
And there's a ton to talk about. Lonnie Walker, as I mentioned, was the story of the late game last night. Matthew Cleveland, we talked about this yesterday, 6'7" guard from FSU transferring to the Canes. Coach L was inducted into the Sports Hall of Fame last week. Crowder, well-deserved. Got in before I did. A little bit of a shock to those who have followed our two careers, our paths.
To no one.
And then, of course, we enjoy talking NBA playoffs with Coach regardless. And, by the way, I got Wordle in 3 guesses this morning. It was a very difficult word, and Jim Larrañaga is joining us now. Hello, Coach.
Yeah, hey, I voted for you for the Hall of Fame, and then they asked me, well, who is that?
I was a little shocked that you got the nod before I did. I'm not going to lie. I had a terrific career at WVUM, the campus radio station. I mean, I really pulled my weight around there, but that's all right. I'm still happy for you. I'm not going to hate. This is the time.
How about my boy Lonnie Walker last night?
You're just moving
in the fourth quarter.
Moving right along, huh? We're not going to, no more nonsense from you. We're just moving right around.
You got a lot of topics to cover. I heard you make a list of all the different things you want to talk about.
I didn't even get to my Wordle score yet. No, talk about Lonnie Walker.
Hey, if you want to go to Wordle, I got it in 4. You got it in 3. So you must be a lot smarter than me.
Probably 25% smarter.
By the way, let me be sure it's the same word.
All right, let me look here. If you
gotta look,
if you haven't played Wordle yet, turn off the radio for a second. Today's word was cocoa.
Yeah, cocoa. Yeah.
What was your opening guess?
Cause, C-A-U-S-E. And so anyway, I got it in 4. You got it in 3. You're a genius. I'm a dummy. That's okay.
Look at this. It's finally happening. I have finally worn them down. No,
that didn't seem genuine.
Let's talk. But I wasn't looking for genuine. I just wanted to hear it. Let's talk Lonnie Walker here first. Were you watching the Lakers last night as it was happening? Like, what do you think?
You mean at 1 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah.
No, I was sound asleep.
All right. Well, when you wake up this morning and you see that he went off in the fourth quarter, what are you thinking?
I went and watched the highlights, and he was sensational. The last jumper he hit on Steph Curry, he went between his legs, he crossed him over, and then hit like a 17-footer. You know, I love people talk about it on the air a lot, and, you know, like nobody likes the mid-range jumper because it's only worth 2. You should either shoot a layup or a 3. Why shoot in between? And my answer is always the same. And the answer is, I don't care if you shoot a layup, mid-range, or 3, make the shot. That's what gives you points. And Lonnie hit a nice pull-up jumper. I call that the Jerry West. Jerry West made that shot throughout his career, Hall of Fame career. He is the logo, one of the great shooters. You know, if he had played in this era, he'd be like Steph Curry. He'd be nailing 3-pointers. But Lonnie made that big shot. He scored 15 points, and he's on a 1-year contract. So hopefully, you know, maybe he'll get a little bit more playing time as the series moves forward. They're up 3-1. Maybe they beat Golden State, move on to the Western Conference Finals. Lonnie is playing for another contract, so hopefully he'll get that.
And, Coach, when you watch your ex-players, like right now you got Bruce Brown, Lonnie in the league. I remember Shane Larkin was with the Nets. When you watch those ex-players, do guys ever surprise you of their progression in the game? Like you see something in their game that you never thought they could develop?
Yeah, really, no. You know, the guys really have the freedom to really show all their skills here at Miami. So, you know, what people, I'm not sure anybody knows this, the announcers from last night, Lonnie Walker made 4 game-winning shots as a freshman here. He hit the shot either at the buzzer or the last shot before the opponent had a last shot. And you make 4 game-winning shots in one season. It's unbelievable. to do it as a freshman in college at 18, 19 years old I don't know anybody else that's done that. So he's got a lot of confidence in himself. He was starting in the beginning of the season, got hurt. They made the trades. And then, he lost his spot in the rotation. And now he's getting a chance to get back in there and help the Lakers win. So I'm very proud of him.
Who's next, Coach? Like we've seen. I mean, it was just a fun season going to the Final Four. We all enjoyed it. Obviously, you and your team did as well. Who's going to make some noise in the NBA? Who's the next Kane Hooper? Because we see a lot are obviously going to be draft eligible, whether they get picked or not. Who's going to make real noise in the NBA?
The team that's making the noise is the Miami Heat. I'm watching last night, and Max Strus is just burying three-pointers with guys on him. He goes 6 for 13 from the field, 4 for 10 from 3, and the Heat win by 8. And now they got a chance to close it out. It'll be tougher in New York, but I love the way the Heat are playing right now. And the stat I heard that blows your mind, and you got to give all the credit in the world to Pat Riley and Eric Spoelstra and the culture that they have created with the Miami Heat organization. Someone said they have 7 guys who weren't even drafted. And I know Max Strus and Gabe Vincent weren't drafted. And then you have Caleb Martin. You got Duncan Robinson wasn't drafted. Highsmith, I don't think he was drafted. So Yerk 7. I recruited Yerk 7. Did you guys know that?
I did not know that.
So this past summer, the Heat guys were working out, and I wanted my grandson to watch Duncan Robinson and his shooting. So we went over there. We watched Duncan Robinson, and Omer Yet-7 was there, and he came over to me to say hello. He was at NC State for a year. And so I coached against him. And I said to him, hey, do you remember playing against the Miami Hurricanes? He said, oh, yeah, you guys beat us in NC State. I said, yeah, you made like 5 threes at the top of the key. He said, you remember that? I said, yeah, we recruited you. Do you remember that? and then I pulled out my phone. I went to the last text I sent him on WhatsApp, and he couldn't believe it. So he asked me in his text, hey, what can you give me? And I said, we can, give you a scholarship. It's worth about $75,000, $80,000 a year. And he says, no, I mean cash.
That sounds like Crowder's recruiting question.
If he was coming out of the transfer portal, he could actually get some cash from somebody.
Yeah, it's a totally different world. You could have used some height. You could have used some height too, Coach. I mean, that would have been a great recruit.
Yeah. So I'm so happy for the Miami Heat. I got my fingers crossed that they'll keep winning. And I don't know about that other series, the Celtics and the 76ers, or my guy Bruce Brown with the Denver Nuggets, what they're going to do. Man, that's a 2-2 series as well.
Hey, right? Coach.
Bruce doesn't start. Oh, he does sometimes, but he's their 5th leading scorer. He's averaging just over 10 points a game. He's shooting 52% from the field. He's not having a good year shooting the 3, but he is a heck of a defender. And he's a great fit for those guys.
And Coach, quickly back to the Heat, because I got to ask you this thought of the playoff Jimmy, or guys get in the playoffs and they take off. Jimmy Butler's playing out of his mind, Coach. I said earlier he doesn't try as hard in the regular season. I can't explain it any other way. Explain to me when a guy goes, 20 points a game, 18 points a game, whatever it is, gets to the playoffs and drops 98 in 2 games. Is he just not playing as hard, or how do you do that?
No, I've said this all along, even in college basketball, the regular season is a marathon. You're not sprinting all the time. You've got to pace yourself. You got to find a nice rhythm. You're not trying to overdo anything. Jimmy Butler plays hard every single game, but he needs more rest during the season when you're playing back-to-backs. You're playing 3 games in a week. Now in the playoffs, you got to remember they don't play back to back. They play a game, then they get a day to recover. They're playing the same opponent. The game strategy doesn't change much from game to game. And when I'm watching the Heat last night, what they're doing is they put the ball in Butler's hands a ton. So during the regular season, you want that spread out a good bit. You need your bench to play. The idea that Jimmy Butler doesn't play hard during the season. Here's what I say, Crowder. You're a football guy. You're not a basketball guy, so you don't really understand this stuff.
Mm-hmm. That's why I need the best of the best to explain it to me.
Crowder was known to take a play or two off in his career.
Did I hit him with his zinger or what?
I mean, he's staggering to the back of the ropes. I mean, you hit him. Jim Larrañaga is with us. Tell us what it was like to be inducted into the Sports Hall of Fame. Obviously, this is something I can only dream of. And we know that you were actually, up for the Basketball Hall of Fame, which still may happen one day. But what was it like to go into the Sports Hall of Fame? That has to be a great moment of pride.
Well, first of all, there were 10 inductees that night. The event was held at the Watsco Center.
That's right.
Which was
First
great
time
for
ever.
me. First time ever. 450 people on hand. Wow. It was a spectacular venue. I mean, I just loved the atmosphere. And the people, we had baseball players, football players, track athletes, swimmers and divers. I mean, just every sport. Plus, sitting next to me, it was a real pleasure of a gentleman who was inducted, Vinny Scavo, who has been the head trainer here, I think since 1865. He's been around a long, long time. So, it's a great honor to be included with such great athletes. When you look at some of the guys who have been inducted, the Vinny Testaverdes and the Jim Kellys and all the great ones in football and baseball and basketball. I'm happy and honored. And the thing that gives me so much joy is my grandsons love it. They're following and texting me. And so I'm really, as a grandfather, very, very proud to have a relationship with my grandsons where we can text each other and call each other and have some stuff to share. I say that because when I was growing up, I did not have a grandfather. My grandfather on both my mother's side and my father's side had passed away. So I never knew either one of them. So I'm happy to have a great relationship with my grandchildren. I got one granddaughter, by the way.
Coach, that's beautiful, Coach, and I love it too. I haven't grandkids yet, but I got kids, man, and it's the best thing in the world. But it makes sense, Coach, that you brought up your family. It's right into my next question. You're giving them memories, and you can celebrate with your family, and that's beautiful. But you personally, Coach, do you like being celebrated? Because I would guess that you don't.
No, I don't like individual awards per se. I think it's nice if someone recognizes you for your achievements, but my whole goal in my coaching career has been about the team winning and the players being recognized, like Isaiah Wong, ACC Player of the Year, Jordan Miller, All Conference, Norshad Omir, All Conference, which also Norshad and Jordan are out on the circuit right now. So is Isaiah, trying out with NBA teams, getting a good look and learning about what the NBA is all about. Jordan Miller, I talked to the Utah Jazz yesterday. Jordan Miller was there working out, and they said he played very, very well. Norshad Omir was with the Celtics last week. He had a very good day. Today he's with the Atlanta Hawks, and tomorrow he's with the Detroit Pistons. Nigel Pack is also pursuing some NBA opportunities. So these guys are, very good players. The NBA is interested in, but the whole idea is you need to be ready and you need to be a first round pick, because nothing in the second round, none of the money or making the team is guaranteed if you're in the second round. And look at what we talked about earlier about the Miami Heat. There are guys that don't get drafted that are making the league, and guys who do get drafted sometimes are not.
I tell you what, if you wonder, why is Jim Larrañaga going into the Sports Hall of Fame or up for the Basketball Hall of Fame, the list of players that he just gave you in the last 20 seconds, right? And we started the segment talking about Lonnie Walker. I mean, you have had, Coach, some legit talent go through those doors there at and we love it. And I guess more is on the way, right? Now we expect a Final Four every year, Coach.
Yeah, there'll be a Final Four. I don't know if we'll be in it, but there'll be a Final Four every year. Here's what I would say about our roster right now. We have 10 scholarship players. We signed in the early signing period a 6'10", 245-pound big man who is at Prolific Prep in California. But he was born in Houston, Texas, raised in Canada, in Toronto, in the Toronto area. And he played in the Nike Hoop Summit game, which is the best international players against the best high school players in our country. And he had 17 or 18 points and played very well. He's a very athletic young man and very good student and really hard worker. And we're very excited to have him join us. And he and Norshad will be battling each other every day this coming season. And then we signed a young man from who's born and raised in Switzerland but plays in France. His name is Keyshawn George, and Keyshawn is kind of a mixed bag of tricks. He's 6'7", can shoot the three, he's played the point, he's played the two, he's played the three, and he's growing, so he might even be able to play the four some. He's just a very versatile performer. He's playing against men right now, so hopefully that experience will prepare him. And then we most recently got a transfer. Matthew is going to come in, and he'll be a junior next year, and he is a very versatile player. So with the guys we have returning, Bensley Joseph, Wooger Poplar, Nigel Pack, Norshad O'Meara, those guys, AJ Casey, Christian Watson, we have a good, solid core of veterans and some exciting newcomers. So I'm already looking forward to next season.
We're excited, man. I'm saying Final Four. You can diffuse it all you want. I'm going Final Four again, Crowder. And when Coach Meyer comes on, right back to the Elite Eight, maybe the Final Four there too as well. Coach Jim Larrañaga, we love talking basketball with you, and we love watching the guys like Lonnie Walker last night succeed in the league because it's really, really fun. Thank you. Better luck tomorrow on Wordle. I hope you get it sooner than 4.
Okay, thanks. Text me and let me know how you did.
Absolutely. It seems like you're just not into my shtick today, Coach. Am I reading that wrong?
I thought I'd been responding to everything you said. I thought I'd been funny. I thought I'd been engaging. I thought I gave you a lot of props.
I feel like you were
how smart you are.
I feel like
I don't understand how you can give me grief now at the end of the call.
I believe you're going to turn to Alex Schwartz and say never again with that guy. That is my feeling after this conversation.
Here's what call me back tomorrow and we can have another one of these enjoyable conversations.
All right, I'll do it. I can't do it on the air. Can't have you on 2 days in a row, but I'll just call you on my ride to work and we can have this conversation.
What time is that?
I mean, around noon.
Noon?
Yeah, I'll call you around noon.
No, I'm busy. I actually have to work during the day.
The guy hates me. He absolutely hates me. All right, Coach Jim Larrañaga. I'm still rooting for you, regardless of how you feel about me.
Hochman and Crowder is my favorite radio show that I don't listen to.
Thank you.
Well, that will be turned into a promo immediately. We appreciate it. See you, Coach.
Bye now.
All right, there you go. Coach Jim Larrañaga. Terrific.
I don't think he hates you. I don't think he'd ever hang out with you, though.
I don't think he would. I think he would last about 5 minutes. He would go, oh, this guy really doesn't turn it off.
I knew the answer to what time is that. I'm busy. I used that one, Coach.
Saw that one coming a mile away. All right, there you go. That was Coach Jim Larrañaga, and we'll talk with him more as the NBA playoffs proceed.